All right, welcome in, welcome in. Doing something a little different today. We're actually going to be playing Kingdom Death Monsters. So, for those of you who aren't aware, my original everything I originally started doing on YouTube is all board game stuff. I still have that channel running, and this is the Kingdom Death Monster. We're going to be playing the People of the Dreamkeeper campaign. And that campaign comes from the Gambler's Chest expansion. So this guy right here is the Crimson Crocodile, who is as terrifying as he looks. He is the very first thing you have to fight in People of the Dreamkeeper. So we're gonna be doing that on the board here. We've got this is the blood pool, which you can see here. The blood pool. If you spend an action, you can drink from the pool and roll a d10. If you are standing in the center of the blood pool, add +1 to your roll result. Survivors with hemophobia may not drink. And then there's some results here. We'll read through those results as they come up. But one of the most important ones, if you can see, well, actually 2 through 3, let me get the focus here, 2 through 3 and 4 through 10. So basically 2 all the way through 10 give you insanity, which is very important against the Crimson Crocodile. And you'll see that as we start to fight him. But the Crimson Crocodile prevents you from gaining insanity on your own, which I'll show you here in a second, or through one of the primary ways that you normally would. And he's going to be really coming at like degrading your insanity, causing brain trauma and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. I have played a People of the Dreamkeeper campaign once, and it ended with at like year 5. So all my survivors were gone at that point. So the other thing we've got out here is the survivor corpse. Both of those are mandated by the showdown setup, the prologue setup. So these, neither of these were random, but there's a survivor corpse. And basically you can scavenge it by, let's see, if a survivor moves through the space occupied by this terrain, they suffer brain damage equal to the monster level. So you don't want to move through it, but you can scavenge it. And after you scavenge it, then it will remove it from the board. And again, whenever we make a roll like that, I'm not going to cover what could happen ahead of time. We'll just look and see what does happen. Now, the Crimson Crocodile himself, we've got 8 AI cards. So if this is your first time, Seas over Jupiter. Hi, welcome in. First time chat. Looks like Golden Toast based off that emote you got there. Really appreciate you coming in. We've got 8 AI cards here. The AI cards are both what the Crimson Crocodile can do to me, as well as its health. So we have 8 of these, which means we have to wound it 9 times to kill it, because you have to get rid of the AI deck and then wound it one more time after that. Then let's see, we'll cover its basic action and its instinct whenever that comes about. However, for the prologue, he has 6 movement, which means he can move 6 spaces like you might expect, and 6 toughness, which I think is slightly less. Yeah, if we were fighting a level 1, you can see 7 toughness right there. So it is slightly less than what you have to deal with after the prologue. So then we've got here, and I hate that my camera, it's an autofocus, it's having a little bit of a hard time, but we'll hopefully, as we come out here, there we go. Okay. So let's see here. Hold on one second. Okay, great. Just wanted to confirm my mic was working. I am in a different area than I normally am whenever I'm streaming video games. So just trying to make sure all the setup is working. It looks like we're good right now. So we've got Enchanted Flesh here. This Enchanted Flesh is one of the traits of the Crimson Crocodile. All right, so you can kind of, come on. There we go. All right, and essentially what it is when I wound it, you're going to draw from the bottom of this deck. These are coagulated hit locations, and it's going to make it harder to hit it. So it says, when the monster is wounded, the blood hardens into translucent scabs that sparkle as it moves. During a showdown setup, shuffle all the coagulated hit locations, which are these cards underneath it, and place this card on top. When instructed to draw a coagulated hit location card from the bottom of the deck, draw it face down when instructed to from the bottom of the deck, and then it'll go on top of the hit location deck, I believe. Let's see. Let me just confirm all of that real quick, because that would be, again, I've only played this once, and it was a little while ago, back when it first came out. So let me just make sure. Coagulated hit locations. When the survivor attempts to wound a coagulated hit location, it is an automatic failure unless they target the weak spot. So the weak spot will be on the card there. The blue space corresponds to the space the monster occupies with its facing indicated by the arrow. After a survivor selects a hit location to resolve, they can target a weak point if it is within the reach of their attacking weapon, and an imaginary line can be drawn from the survivor's. Yeah, okay, got that. So, okay. So basically, we just have to hit the right location there. Seas over Jupiter, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. All right, what else? Oh, yeah. So we got 2 more traits over here. We've got the Immortal Presence trait. Come on. There you go. So Immortal Presence. And that says, hypnotized by fidgeting spine fingers, your body's fear response escalates. When a survivor has 0 insanity, they gain the Terrified Survivor status card. So Terrified is right here. So this is what we'll gain when we have 0 insanity. We are all starting with 1 insanity. And by the way, if you're not familiar with Kingdom Death, insanity is... Oh, come on. Come on. We're definitely going to have to find out and figure out something a little bit different for cards. All right, that's... Oh, there we go. There's... It's like the magic spot right in here somewhere. Well, we'll get that sorted. Anyway, Terrified. Ignore any bonuses to brain trauma rolls. You are guardless. And guardless means you cannot ignore hits. And then if you have at least 1 insanity, you can take a moment to collect yourself and spend an action to get rid of Terrified. So we want to maintain insanity, which is why this blood pool is so important, since we can gain insanity there, because we can't gain it through brain trauma, which is one of the normal ways you do it. Because, as you can see here, with Adrenal Adept, where is that? There. Okay, so right about there is a magic spot to get it to focus. All right, Adrenal Adept. The monster disrupts your blood flow, preventing your body from coping with stress. When you would gain insanity from a brain trauma, your body stutters in pain. Instead, suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. So that prevents me, not only prevents me from gaining insanity through brain trauma, but it causes me to gain physical damage as well. And in Kingdom Death, insanity is frequently the main way you're going to protect your brain from the brain trauma that can be inflicted through this world. All right, so in terms of our gear, you can see in the bottom right of your screen, the only gear that all 4 of them have, because this is the prologue, this is the very beginning of the game, is the Founding Stone, which is their weapon. A Founding Stone has 2 speed, meaning we'll roll 2 dice. The accuracy is 7+, meaning we got to roll a 7 or better. And the strength is a 1. So with the monster having a toughness of 6, we'll have to roll a 5 or better to wound it after we hit it. And then the only armor we've got is the cloth, which gives us 1 armor to our waist. Pretty good. Hey, yourself? Yeah, I'm doing really good, really good. Really excited to bring this. This is a game I've been wanting to get back to the table since the first time I played it. Again, I've played Kingdom Death itself a lot, but the Gambler's Chest here is something that we waited for years and years and years for it to finally come out, and here it is. So, but yeah, I'm doing real good. All right, so I think that's all you need to know. We can get started. Oh, I should probably grab some dice. That would be a very important part for this whole experience. All right, so we got our dice, and I guess I should show you real quick. There are a few things different about each survivor. And you can see, by the way, I'm using these tokens to let you see which survivors are where. If you look on the screen there, you can see Holden is white. We've got Miller over here, who's blue, Naomi, who's red, and then Julie over here, who is green. All right, so Holden, again, everything is basically the same, except there's a few little differences here. So Holden here has 1 insanity and 1 torment. And torment is something that's going to make brain trauma rolls worse. And we do have 1 survival, which we can use to dodge. Holden also has the knowledge down here of darkness 1, and darkness is how he got the +1 torment. All right, and he's going to gain knowledge of darkness every time he takes brain damage. We'll tick off 1 box here. He gets all the way up there, then at which is 5 of them, then we'll have kind of a revelation that occurs after the fight. All right, Miller has 1 insanity, 1 survival. His knowledge is fear. He needs to gain 3 boxes to level that up, and currently that does not have any actual effect. And he gains knowledge and fear by is it taking damage? Oh, man. I think it's taking damage. Hold on. I just wrote down damage, but I'm not sure if it means he needs to deal it or take it. Yeah, he needs to suffer damage. So if he suffers damage 3 times, then that will give him more knowledge of fear. We've got hunger here we got Naomi, who has 1 survival. She has 1 systemic pressure, which, let me make sure. I'm pretty sure systemic pressure is the one that is going to, because these are new. Torment and systemic pressure are new to the system. Yeah, systemic pressure makes severe injury rolls worse. Torment makes brain trauma rolls worse. Yeah, I had that right. Okay. So she's got 1 systemic pressure here, 1 insanity. And then down here, hunger 1, she gets +1 systemic pressure, which is where that came from. Now, for her, just by surviving this fight, she's automatically going to level up hunger. So that's good. And then finally, Julie, who's green. Oh, what did I do here? It turns out gray and green both start with a G. So let me gray, green. Okay. All right. So anyway, Julie has 1 survival, 1 insanity, just like normal. And then she has the knowledge of despair 1. Now, there's no actual effect for that so far, but if the first time she experiences brain trauma, that's what she needs to be able to level that up. All right, so let's get moving here. So the way this works, the monster goes first, then we go. So we're going to draw, and I'm going to pull these Immortal Presence and Adrenal Adept over here next to me just so I can remember them better. Sometimes those are a little bit tricky. When I'm filming and kind of keep track of all these different rules, it can be a little bit difficult sometimes for me to remember things like this. But the main thing for me to remember is that I cannot gain insanity from brain trauma. Instead, I'm going to suffer some damage. And that if I have 0 insanity, that survivor is terrified. Okay. So here's the first AI card for the Crimson Crocodile. Crimson Snap. So first we have to pick the target. The threat with the least insanity in range. All right. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I need to also keep track of the monster controller because I know that I think technically you don't do that in a solo game, but I have always done it just because I think it's a cool feature. This basically whoever the monster controller is in a multiplayer game makes the decisions for the monster, but in a solo game you don't normally do that. The thing though that I love about it that is missing if you don't have it in a solo game is that if a player targets their own survivor, they gain +1 insanity. So we're going to start with Holden up there being the monster controller. That changes at the beginning of a round. A round starts with the monster's turn. So every round it'll become somebody different. All right. So anyway, Crimson Snap. So threat with the least insanity in range. Well, everyone's a threat because you're only not a threat if you're laying down or if you have some other effect that makes you not a threat. And they're all in range. They all have the exact same insanity. So in this case, it could be anybody. And it doesn't say it's not random. So I actually, as the monster controller, get to choose. And we will have him choose Holden, which means Holden will gain +1 insanity. So that puts him at 2 insanity now. All right. And let's just put this up here for now. Okay. And, or will it fit right here? Yeah, we can put it here. There we go. Perfect. All right. And let's see. So now we have our target. So now we're going to move and attack. All right. So he has 6 movement. He's going to make it because they're all 5 away. So he's just going to move right there. Okay. And so now, hey, thanks for the lurk, Seas Over Jupiter. I really appreciate lurks. Lurks are always, always welcome. All right. So now he's going to attack speed 2, accuracy 3. So speed means he's going to roll 2 dice. All right. And let's move. Let's see if I move this up here, you should be able to see the dice come out of it. I've got to. Yeah. Okay. Accuracy 3+. So got to roll a 3 or better for him to hit my survivor. So hopefully when you're rolling for the monster, you always want to roll low on the accuracy. Damage is 2. So each hit is going to deal 2 damage. And there is an after damage effect. So we'll see that in a second. All right. So we rolled. That's a 1. So nothing happens there. There's 4 hits. Now take 2 damage. And what I can do is I can roll. I'm going to roll this to see where he hits me, where the Crimson Snap bites me, and then I'll be able to decide if I want to dodge it or not. So it's going to be in the body. It's going to be 2 damage to the body, which I have no armor on the body, so it would be a heavy wound. And I'm sorry, hold on just 1 second, yo. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. We so in the mornings, I always get the breakfast set up for my daughter, my middle child, and she alternates between two different things each morning. And I forgot which she had yesterday, and I apparently set up the wrong one. It was a crisis, and it had to be handled immediately. So appreciate y'all hanging out. Let's get this started because we were just getting into the actual fighting. So where we were at was we've got one miss, one hit from the Crimson Crocodile, and the Crimson Snap got me right in the torso. If I take that, it's going to be a heavy wound. So I'm actually going to spend my survival to dodge right out the gate here. Dodge means that we ignore one of the hits. And so it actually does nothing, which means the after damage doesn't trigger either. In this case, it wouldn't have regardless because it says if you are terrified, you are devoured whole, dead. So that's another reason to make sure we don't stay terrified. We've got to keep our insanity up because he can actually just right out kill you dead. Just from biting you one time, regardless of what your health is looking like at the time. Okay, so now where are we at here? That was his turn. Now it's our turn. All right. So first things first, I'm going to have Miller over here roll on the table for the survivor corpse. A 2. One of the two gain +1 insanity. All right. So Miller has 2 insanity now. And so that's gone. Survivor corpse is gone. Okay. So that was his action. He can still move. So we're actually going to move Miller 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the survivors, by the way, have 5 movement to start off with and get into the blood pool here. All right. So now let's see. Because the prologue, I do know what the top hit location is. I feel like, let's see, this person over here will not be able to get to him and fight him. So, and that's Naomi, right? Yes, Naomi. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't even get to the blood pool quite yet. But what she will do is throw her founding stone. So I know it's hard to see probably down in the bottom right there, you might be able to see it, maybe not. But basically, if you throw a founding stone, and again, I got to get a better card system here. Yeah, okay. But basically, if you throw the founding stone, you spend your action to sling the stone from anywhere on the board. Archive this card for one automatic hit that inflicts a critical wound. All right. So Naomi's founding stone is gone because she threw it. It hits the Crimson Crocodile. We draw a hit location card here. And let's see, we've got 99 finger spine. It is impervious, but it does have this critical wound. Fingers stretch outward, revealing the cache of stone faces the monster has been clutching. Critical wound. Your attack shatters a translucent scab covering the stone faces on the monster's back. Find hit location sparkling upper back. Okay. What? Find hit location sparkling. Did I miss it? Sparkling upper. Or is that a coagulated hit location? Oh, it is. It says coagulated. All right. So hold on. I got to reshuffle this now that I looked at it. It says hit location, sparkling upper back, and then after the next line, it says coagulated. I guess I should have read the whole thing. So find that, set it aside, then reshuffle the hit location deck and place the card back on top. All right. So hold on. So we need to find sparkling upper back. There it is, sparkling upper back. Reshuffle the coagulated hit locations here. So we just set it aside. Okay, so I guess maybe that's not going to be a factor in this fight. All right, and then persistent injury, exposed back. The monster panics, making it easier to hit. It gains -1 evasion. Nice. Okay, so we give it -1 evasion token right here. All right, so normally, so like for instance, with the founding stone, it has an accuracy of 7+, which means you have to roll a 7 or better to hit. Now it has an accuracy of essentially it has an accuracy of 6+ because the monster has -1 evasion. So that is a positive thing for us as far as our accuracy goes. By the way, the monster does have a blind spot, which is here, here, and here, which also increases our accuracy whenever we, or improves our accuracy, I should say, whenever we're attacking it from one of those 3 locations. So let's see. Oh, by the way, that was a critical wound. Any type of wound means we take the top AI card and put it into the wound stack. So let's make this adjustment real quick as well. So the Crimson Crocodile's health is 8. Okay. All right. So next up, everybody's gone. Or these 2 have not gone yet. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't get into the blind spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can get over here. Let's do this real quick. She's gonna move here. That's Julie, and she's gonna roll in the blood pool. She's gonna. So let's see what we get. Oh, lost the die. Where'd it go? It's all right. We'll grab that one later. I got a 6. And that means 4/10, the blood is warm, gain monster level insanity. So that will be 1 insanity for Julie. So she's at 2. Okay. All right. So now we'll have Holden go. If I remember correctly from my first fight, the Crimson Crocodile, I think, death rolls left and right a lot. So we're going to stay right where we're at and attack from there. All right. And so we roll 2 dice at 7+ accuracy, but -1 evasion. So 6+ to hit. And they're both 3s. Holy shit. Okay. So nothing happens there. Holden will now move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So that's everybody. So now the Crimson Crocodile is going to go, which means Miller is now the monster controller. So we've got Hail of Fingers. Pick target. Closest threat in range. Closest threat in range would be Holden here. So we'll just do like that. Move into range and move into range and attack. Hold on, this is a range attack. So it's got range 6. So the monster is going to just stay right there. It's not going to move because this is actually a range attack, which range attacks are something new. They were not in the base game. I don't know that they were even in any of the expansions prior to the Gambler's Chest. All right, so this attack gains +1 speed for each card in the monster's wound stack. We've got 1 card in the wound stack so far. So it's going to have 2 speed because it starts with 1 speed. So 2 speed. It's only got 7+ accuracy, though. So here we go. So that's a miss. Come on. There we go. That's a 7, though. That hits. Okay, so we've got 1 hit. Hits Holden in the waist. Okay, that's best case scenario. That's the 1 spot we have armor right now. So that's going to be 1 damage to the waist because Holden can't dodge. He uses survival already. So that just chips away at the armor. So now Holden's got 0 armor across the board. Because you can see that's only 1 damage is what that one does. All right, so then moving down. If the monster attacked with 10+ speed, it didn't. But what would happen? It has fired off too many of its scab fingers, the monster gains -1 toughness token, is knocked down. Oh wow! So higher level monsters, when they use this, could actually end up injuring themselves. All right, so that was the monster's turn. So Holden has 2 insanity. How did Holden gain insanity? What did Holden do that gained an insanity? Well, I don't know, but both Miller and Julie have insanity, have extra insanity as well. So whatever it was, I can't remember what it was though. Anyway, doesn't matter. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, I think we'll go with Holden first. Well, no, because let's do these people first, because again, the side, I'm pretty sure he can death roll left or right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here we go. All right, blind spot right here. We'll have Miller do that. All right, so Miller's attacking. That's 2+. Or no, I'm sorry, 2 speed, 6+ because of the evasion, the -1 evasion, and then it's the blind spot. So 5+ is what he needs. And 1 miss, but we got a 5 there. So that's a hit. Question is, will it wound? So hit location, the pale fin base. This has a reflex reaction, which we'll deal with in a second. So let's go ahead and see if he wounds it. And again, toughness is 6, right? Yeah, toughness is 6. So we have to roll, and we have strength of 1 on the founding stone, so we got to roll a 5 or better. And we got a 5, so it is a wound. So that puts the crocodile's health at 7. All right. And now let's see what happens here, because there is a reflex here. The monster flips upside down and glides on its wriggling fingers. So all this right here is all fingers and everything that are sticking out of its back. Glides on its wriggling fingers, moving 2 spaces forward, then cranes its neck to wink at the attacker. So he goes 1, 2, and then cranes his neck to wink at the attacker. They suffer monster level brain damage +1. So just like that, Miller is down to 0 insanity. So you can see how quickly that can happen. And what does Miller? Just remember, Miller is the one that if he takes physical damage, that will improve his knowledge. If Holden takes brain damage, Naomi just has to survive, and Julie brain trauma. Okay. All right. So pale fin base. Now, even though we're definitely going to want to get Miller back down here in the blood pool now, but in the meantime, this is open it up so that Holden can now 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go right here, 5 to make room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So now Holden can attack from the blind spot. All right. Again, with 2 speed and 5+ is what we need. We have 1 miss and 1 hit. They hit him Holden hits him on the blushing body. It's a super dense location. So this super dense means we cannot actually wound it here. Well, look at this. Well, that's interesting. So it said, okay, so reflex. Well, okay, let's just run this out. There's actually nothing I can do. Excuse me. There's no way. There's not even a critical wound possibility, so I don't even need to roll. So reflex. The monster rolls without turning. Full move the monster to the right. So it's going to go that way. On collision, a survivor would suffer monster level damage +1, but he's just going to go right there. All right. And while rolling, the monster's back fingers open as it shuffles stone faces onto its back. If the 99 fingers A 99 finger spine hit location is in the discard pile or persistent injury. Place it on top of the hit location deck. Okay, so this goes back on top of the hit location deck, which also means that because part of the persistent injury was the -1 evasion token, so the -1 evasion goes away, but we're going to get it back. And that hit location goes there. Okay, so now where we're at is, let's see, Julie has 2 insanity. But you know what? She's going to stay in the blood pool. She's just going to hurl her founding stone from where she's at so we can get that critical wound again. So Julie archives her founding stone. All right. And we get, she's going to hit. We know where it goes. 99 finger spine. Excuse me. Okay. Again, critical wound. Your attack shatters. Yeah, so we got sparkling. Upper back is already out. I guess that probably should have gone back technically when this got put back into the hit location deck. But then the persistent injury, we get the -1 evasion token back. And we, of course, wound it. So that's 3 wounds now, which means Crocodile is down to 6 health. Okay. Perfect. And that's a persistent injury. There we go. All right. So that was her. She's not going to move. She's going to stay right where she's at. And so now we've got Naomi. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Still in the blood pool here. She's going to activate the blood pool. If you roll a 7, the blood is warm. Gain. Okay, yeah, basically we can't get the top one. The top one is 11 plus, so we'll have to have some modifiers to get to that. But she gets monster level insanity. So Naomi gains 1 insanity, which puts her at 2. Okay. All right. I think that's everybody, right? Yes, that's everybody. So it is the Crocodile's turn. 21,000 Newton bite. All right. Pick target. Threat with most tokens in range. Nobody has any tokens. Yeah, nobody has any tokens. Okay. Closest survivor. Well, that is right here. So the blind spot thing only helps if it says something like closest survivor in view, then he couldn't target Holden, but it just says closest survivor. Holden is definitely the closest survivor. I think Holden's been the target all 3 attacks. Yeah. All right. So move and synchronic attack target. Hold on. Let me refresh my memory on synchronic attack. All right, because that was something new for the Gambler's Chest. Synchronic attack. Synchronic attacks are powerful actions that simultaneously affect all survivors in a zone. To perform a synchronic attack, the monster controller examines the zone. So there's a zone there on the card, noting all survivors that are within it and makes a single set of attack rolls. Apply the roll result of these attack rolls to all survivors within the zone. A survivor's evasion, dodge, block, deflect, and gear apply to that survivor only when determining hits. After hits are determined, the monster controller selects a hit survivor and resolves the rest of the attack, rolling hit location dice, dealing damage, and triggering effects before moving on to the next survivor. Once all hits are resolved, the action ends and the next action on the card can be performed. Okay. All right. Okay, and so here in this case, for that type of pattern, I know y'all probably can't see it real well, so you can see we've got this pattern in front. There's the, come on, camera. Monster facing this way, and it's attacking those 6 spaces. The monster controller must identify the shortest path until the target is in the attack zone. If this is not possible, okay, so it's just saying that if he was over here, he could move right up until Holden was in the first moment Holden was in one of those attack zone areas, then That's where we would stop. Okay. All right. So here we go. So it's a 2-speed, 3+ accuracy, 21 damage. If you, let's see, before damage, well, first let's see if he damages, because it's 3+, almost for sure. Whoa, one of them misses. That's good. But the other one is a 7, so that hits me in the body. All right. So before damage, if you're terrified or deaf, I'm not. Otherwise, you hear the zealous finger strumming and escape the bite's full power. Reduce the damage in this attack profile to 1. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So if you're terrified or deaf, it's 21 damage. If you're not, it's 1. Okay. All right. Not quite so terrifying. So he only hit me in one spot, the body. I take 1 damage. It's a light wound to the body for Holden. All right. So next up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, man. So can't get to the blind spot. So he's going to attack right where he's at. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he can still get there. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Holden's going to move here. That way he makes room for everybody else to move in as well. Okay. So Holden's attacking. Who are the two? Julie and Naomi are the two that don't have Founding Stones. Okay, but Miller and Holden still do. All right, so again, it is -1 evasion, so we need a 6 or better. Miss and a hit. Hit location is the blushing, bulging neck. Vacillated. What does that mean? Let's see. Vacillate, a type of hit location against stronger Crimson Crocodiles. Oh, okay, so that's something that's going to become more. It's going to have something to do with its higher level versions of the Crimson Crocodile, I think. All right, so, but nothing right now. It does have a failure. It also has a compulsory wound. What does compulsory mean again? Let's see. Pretty sure that's what that is. Compulsive reactions. Yeah. Compulsive reactions are autonomic responses that cannot be stopped. Effects like guitar specialization or critical wound that cancel monster reactions do not cancel compulsive reactions. These reactions still occur even if the monster is knocked down. However, unless instructed to stand the monster up, it will perform the compulsive reaction and remain knocked down. Okay. All right. So we've got blushing, bulging neck here. Again, depending on what happens here will depend on which of those reactions occur. So again, 1 strength. So we have 5. Got a 4. Of course we did. So nothing happened. Well, the failure reaction happens. The monster flips upside down and glides on its wriggling fingers, moving 2 spaces forward. Shit. Then cranes his neck and winks at the attacker. They suffer monster level brain damage +1. So 2 spaces forward. Let's move him out of the way for a second. 1, 2. So now he's landed on Holden, which means Holden is going to suffer knockback 5. And we'll go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And knockdown. And because he actually landed on him, Holden gets damage to a random hit location, which is his body. So he's got a heavy wound now on his body. He's already, normally that would knock him down. He's already knocked down. And then what was the rest of this? It said he also suffers monster level brain damage +1. So he's at 0. And oh shit, he's at 0 insanity. I just realized Miller and Holden now are terrified. So I'm going to put these out here to help us remember that. Miller is not going to attack. In fact, Miller, the first thing that should have happened here is Miller should have gone to the blood pool. So Miller right now is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And activate the blood pool. Got a 2, which is fine. Basically, as long as we don't get a 1 in there, we're all right. So that gives Miller 1 insanity. And next time I can spend an activation to get rid of Terrified, which is critical when fighting this guy. Okay, so now let's look. Holden did take brain damage. I wonder, he took 2 brain damage. Let's take a look at his knowledge card. Darkness. So darkness says when you suffer brain damage, it doesn't say for each brain damage you suffer. Okay, so yeah, I'm fairly certain that means that Holden just gets to check off one of the boxes here for darkness 1. Okay. So let's look at Naomi has 2 insanity, as does Julie. So they're both going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're both going to make an attack here. And by the way, I know I've been talking about the death roll. Well, we've seen that though. So really the safest space is definitely behind him because you can move forward. We haven't seen him move backwards yet, but we'll have Julie go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so she's going to have to attack with Fist and Tooth, which if you look in the bottom left of the gear grid there, it shows you what Fist and Tooth does. And so it's 2 speed, 8+ accuracy, but we have the -1 evasion, so it's going to be 7+. Oh, we got 2 hits. Fantastic. Fantastic. The first hit location is the blushing twisting back. The second one is the blushing hip wrinkles. So both are vasodilated. Again, doesn't matter right now. They both have compulsory wound. This one, if we fail, the monster rolls without turning full move the monster to the right, which would run over her. So we'll do this one first. Blushing, twisting back. And she's going to have to roll a 6. Yeah, she'll have to roll a 6. It's a 3. So that's a failure. The monster's plated scabs grind and crack, spraying pungent ichor. Bleeding wounds pucker and sizzle, erupting with fresh pain. All adjacent survivors suffer brain damage equal to their number of bleeding tokens. We don't have any bleeding tokens yet, so we're good. Nothing happens there. All right, now we're going to try to roll this one. If we fail this, she's about to get run over. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God. Everybody, Naomi's going to get run over too. Oh, that's a 1. Yep. Okay. Failure. The monster rolls without turning full move the monster to the right. On collision, survivors suffer +1 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Monster level +1 damage. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's just knocked down. This is real bad, y'all. And so now we got to do monster level damage +1. So we'll do Julie first. It's going to be to her head. That's real bad. Oh, God damn. Okay, that is... No, that's not... Sorry, I'm looking at Naomi. So that is a what's it called? Severe injury. So we got to roll on this table. She's got a 9, so she's not going to die. Shattered jaw. You drink your meat through a straw. You can no longer consume or be affected by events requiring you to consume. You can no longer encourage. This injury is permanent. You can be recorded once. Gain 1 bleeding token. Where are my bleeding tokens? Must be over there in the box. All right, hold on. So she's got shattered jaw. Okay. All right, here are my bleeding tokens. So with bleeding tokens, once you hit 5 bleeding tokens, you die. So Julie has 1. And okay, now we got to roll for Naomi. She takes 2 to the body, which is going to be a heavy wound. And he landed on her. So that also is another, but this will just be 1 damage to the body. Son of a bitch. All right. 10. So she's not dead. Bowled over. The blow says he's sprawling. You were knocked down. She's already knocked down. Okay. So in terms of severe injuries, it's about as good as we could hope for, but that was a real bad turn. And now she's knocked down. We don't have encourage yet, so she can't get back up. And he already went. When did Holden get knocked down? Holden got knocked down as a result of his attack. Was that right? Yeah. So actually, so all 3 of them will stand up at the end of the monster's next turn, and it is the monster's turn now. Delighted. It's a mood card. When this card comes into play, draw another AI card. Okay, so there's our next AI card. The monster can barely contain its delight as a pungent foam leaks from its maw. While this is in play, the monster has -1 accuracy, which is good. All right. But it also has +1 speed for each terrified survivor. So it's +2 speed right now, which is real bad. All right. When a survivor dies, the monster is knocked down in excitement and discard delighted. Okay. But now we got to do this. Shit, this is going to be bad. Pick target. Closest threat facing in range. There's no threat facing because facing is everything over here. He's just out of facing. So instead it's closest survivor. So now it is him. So he turns this way. 2 speed, but he's got +2. So it's going to be 4 speed. All right. 3+ accuracy. They all hit. All right. It's 1 damage. He's, let's roll all the different hit locations here. See where he's going to take all this damage. All right. So 2 to the body. Who is this? This is Miller. 2 to the body would be a heavy. 1 to the head's a heavy, though. So the arms would definitely take that. So that's a light wound. I think we're going to take the 2 to the body because body severe injuries are easier to survive. And we're going to dodge. Wait, can I dodge? Regardless, you cannot ignore hits. He can't dodge because he's terrified. So he takes the heavy to the head, too. All right. And then after damage, the monster chortles with you in its mouth. Gain the terrified survivor status card. If you already have it, you are knocked down. Well, I was going to be knocked down anyway, so that didn't matter too much. Okay, if we had the lost humor persistent injury, it would have changed what happened here, but we don't. All right. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot to update. The monster's health is actually 5. So it's somewhere along the way I forgot to update that. So let's change that because he only. Oh no. Yeah, while delighted is out. That's what it was. So when a mood card's out, it doesn't count towards the monster's health. So having that mood card out is helpful only in the sense that the monster has 5 health while that mood card is in play. Basically, while it's in play. All right. So Miller's going to stay down, which is bad because he can't get rid of Terrified while he's down. I'm pretty sure you can't use actions at all when you're down. Just going to double check that. Knocks you down, survivor. Knockdown survivors may only spend survival to dodge and cannot spend activation or movement. Yep. Okay. All right. So, but everybody else stands up. Holden is in a bad place right now to be terrified. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying to make his way to the blood pool. He has a founding stone. I don't think he's going to throw it yet. I don't think we're there yet. All right. Julie is going to go ahead and come in here and attack from the blind spot. So let's see. She's using Fist and Tooth. So 2, she needs to roll 6 or better. That's not going to do it. That one will, though. So we got 1 hit. All right. Oh, I just realized something. The Crocodile has -1 accuracy. So one of those hits on Miller didn't hit. I'm going to roll this die to figure out which one we're going to ignore. He didn't get hit in the waist. He got hit in the body. So one of those body shots to Miller. So he just has a light wound to the body. Okay. Yeah, because one of those dice that I rolled was a 3. And with a -1 accuracy, that wasn't enough because he needed 3+. Yeah. All right. So she hit with 1. Glossy tongue. Parry. Is that something we have to worry about right now? Or does that come later? Is that from the... Oh, that is from the original. From the base game. I don't see it, though. What is that? What is parry? Hold on. A type of monster hit location. Wound attempts on this location fail unless the wound result is critical. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, so I have to crit. And that's not good. And she, so she's got to roll 10 basically. 3. All right, so failure. The monster turns to face you and definitely swats away your attack with its tongue. If attacking with a melee weapon, you are disarmed and extremely impressed, gaining +1 survival and +1 insanity. Ignore this if using Fist and Tooth, so I'm not disarmed. Oh, man, that would have been awesome, though, to get the +1 survival and +1 insanity, even though she's at max survival right now. All right, well, nothing terrible happened there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and so she needs to get 7+. Both miss. All right. All right, well, here we go. Monster is attacking. So Monster has 3 basics and 1 advanced card right now in its AI deck. And we've got Crimson Snap. Threat with the least insanity in range. Holden has 0 insanity. He's coming after Holden again. Son of a bitch. All right. Move and attack. So, right there. 2 speed, which is actually 4 speed. This is not good. And he's guard. Well, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any survival anyway. Oh, no. And if he's terrified, he's dead. God. So that misses, but these 2 hit. So he's dead because he gets hit in the body and the waist. But if you are terrified, you are devoured, hold dead. So boom, he's gone. Holden, you will be fondly remembered. And on that note, I will be right back. Okay, so Holden's dead. Miller's terrified. Naomi and Julie are still around, but they don't have founding stones. Only Miller has a founding stone. Holden definitely should have thrown his founding stone that last time. Let's see. Oh, but the good news is that since Holden's gone, we only have 1 terrified survivor. So that means that the monster only has +1 speed instead of +2 speed right now. All right. Oh, and Miller stands up now. And Miller is going to go ahead right now before it's too late, use his activation to get rid of Terrified. And we can get rid of Holden's sheet here. So now the question is, does Miller stay in the blood pool? Do we have to be? Oh, I forgot that if you're standing in the center of the blood pool, you add +1 to the roll result. So that's how we can get to 11. Um, what do I do with Miller? Do I just leave him where he's at? I think I do. I think I leave him there for now. Yeah. All right. So then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, cause she 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Julie is going to come to the blind spot back here. All right. Again, fist and tooth. Oh, and since hold on. Delighted. When a survivor dies, the monster is now knocked down in excitement. So he's actually knocked down right now, which is good for us. Discard delighted. So that goes back into the discard pile, which means the monster's health is back at 6 now. And he's back to his regular speed as well. All right, and so then to refresh my memory on knockdown monsters, we can hit them easier. I'm not sure if we can wound them easier though. So knockdown monster. When a monster is knocked down, attack rolls hit on a 3+. Cancel all reactions, including reactions that might be beneficial to survivors. This does not cancel critical wound effects. If the monster is knocked down during a full, okay, got that. Okay, all right. So basically, we hit on 3+. It does not increase our ability to wound it, though. So 3+ for Julie, which means actually Julie is going to do it here so that she's still in the blood pool because we really want to stick around the blood pool. So 2 hits. The fleshy armpit and the blushing lower jaw. Now, this has a compulsory reaction for wounding, which means that's going to happen even though he's knocked down. We'll do this one, though, first. The fleshy armpit. So, let's see. We are at 0. Okay, so you need to roll a 6 for the fleshy armpit. That's a wound. Nice. Almost a critical wound. Not quite. I got to roll a 10 for that. So that's 1 damage. And then blushing lower jaw, need a 6 again. A 9 again. Nice. Now, this has a... So hold on. So we wounded it twice. So health is down to 4. All right. But it does have this compulsory wound reaction. Compulsive reactions cannot be canceled. The monster recoils its fresh blood, instantly congealing into hard, translucent scabs. Archive this. Oh, okay. So that is gone for the fight. Draw a coagulated hit location and place it on top of the hit location deck. Now, I'm not sure. So normally we would have to hit him on the middle of his right side. With him being knocked down, is there any clear indication of how that works with the monster being knocked down? I don't see anything, so I'm going to rule, and somebody let me know if it ends up being not the right way to go with this. I'm going to rule that you can hit from anywhere when he's knocked down, even if it's coagulated, because he doesn't really have sides right now. So Naomi 1, 2, 3. We'll come right here and attack again. 3+. 1 hit. So we get the coagulated sparkling claw. All right. And again, she needs a 6+. A 1 failure. But oh wait, gain +3 strength to win this location. But even so, she did 3+, and she still couldn't do it. Thanks a lot, Naomi. But that doesn't do anything, so that just goes into the discard. Okay, that was everybody. So it's a monster's turn. Monster stands up. Mocking Bite. Oh, that means yes, we did get rid of that advanced card then because we only have basic cards left in here now. All right, so Mocking Bite, closest threat facing. Nobody is facing. Nobody is in the monster's facing. So now closest survivor. So he's going to turn this way, and it could be either. Oh, wait. Let's see. Julie. Julie is the monster controller. So we're going to say Julie gains the insanity. So she's at 3 insanity now. That's good. All right. Mocking Bite, 2 speed, 3+ accuracy. They both hit. All right. The body and the head. Well, Julie's definitely going to dodge. It's 1 damage. Yeah, Julie's going to dodge. So that's her survival is gone. And oh yeah, she'll dodge the head because she already has a head injury. Oh, she actually has a severe injury. I forgot about that. Yeah, so she'll take 1 to the body. Okay. Now it says after damage, the monster chortles with you in its mouth, gain terrified. So Julie is terrified now. Okay, so we're going to have to get rid of that for sure. Do we have any? So look, you can always look at the discard pile. Yeah, see, we still have Crimson Snap, which if you get attacked with that when you're terrified, it kills you. If it does any damage at all, it kills you. Okay. So first things first. Yeah, first things first is Julie will spend her activation to get rid of Terrified. And then she's going to just step offline so that she's not in the way in case he moves forward or backward. Miller. No. Not. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Miller is going to go. Well, no, Miller's offline right now. So we'll actually have Naomi go first. That way, if he comes forward, he doesn't run over 2 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I guess we'll go there. Okay. She's attacking with 7+. That's 1 hit. Come on. 1 hit. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, that's right. 7+, because fist and tooth. Blushing stubby knee. Okay. And she's going to need a 6 or better. 8. She got it. That's a wound. Okay. Hopefully that was the one that kills you when you're terrified. All right, and that means the monster's down to 3 health. Okay. So that, oh wait, that's right. Compulsory wound reaction. The monster recoils. Its fresh blood instantly congealed into a hard, translucent scab. Archive this and draw a coagulated hit location. So this one, the next hit has to come from the blind spot. And the middle of the blind spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't even get there. Oh, wait, she's already gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got the founding stone. He could throw it, but I don't feel like there's not technically line of sight rules, really, but I guess there are. There are line of sight rules, aren't there? There has to be because of the survivors have ranged weaponry, even if the monsters normally don't. Well, either way, I'm going to say from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From right here, he doesn't have line of sight to the middle of the monster's blind spot. So instead, we're going to go 1, 2, and he's going to roll in the blood pool again. A 3 plus 1 is 4, so he gets 1 insanity, puts him at 2. All right, monster's turn. Mocking bite. All right. So, well, again, nobody's terrified, so it's not a huge problem. Closest threat facing in range could be either Miller or Julie. Naomi's a monster controller, so that doesn't help. Miller has a head severe injury. But he does have armor on his waist. Julie has a head severe injury and has armor on her waist. Miller has 1 more light injury than she does, so we'll let Julie take the hit. And Miller also has a founding stone, and she doesn't. So monster's going to move right. Ooh, wait! If we do it like this, then that puts Naomi in the blind spot. All right. So 2 speed, 3+ accuracy. 1 miss, 1 hit. Hits Julie in the body. She's already used her survival, so that is a heavy injury. Julie is knocked down. All right. After damage, gain terrified. All right. Oh, that's right. That's why I didn't like mocking bite, because he gained terrified. Okay. So now, though, we will start with Naomi's in the exact spot we need to be for the coagulated hit location. So Naomi is going to go. She's rolling 6+ because she's in the blind spot and it has -1 of 8. Oh my God! Come on, she had 2 2s. All right, well, so she's gonna move. She'll go 1, 2, 3. Let's just kind of get away, but stay near the blood pool, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. All right, and so Miller is going to attack this time with the founding stone. Yep. So normally that's a 7+. It'll be a 5+. There's 1. Nice. Well, so that's a perfect hit, but perfect hits don't do anything right now. But we got the sparkling tail base. Of course we do. So this is the trap. This is the 1 bad card in the hit location deck. So that This goes there. Blood signature. All survivors are doomed. The monster's many fingers gesture in a hypnotic wave. The attacker gains the terrified survivor status card. So Miller is terrified. The monster accelerates your heart rate. Gain the death count survivor status as well. Death count, death count. Where did that go? Oh, I put that back in the box. Hold on. All right, death count. All right, so at the end of each round, gain +1 survival and place a death count token on this card. You may surge, and we don't have surge yet, so that doesn't matter. When there are 5+ tokens on this card, your heart bursts, killing. Oh my God. So Miller, it's at the end of each round, so after the survivor's turn. The monster giggles, full moves away from all survivors, then turns to face the attacker. So we'll go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then turn to face the attacker. And then we put the trap in the discard, and we shuffle the discard back into the deck. All right. And now remember, those coagulated hit locations are in here. So there's certain, well, we got 2 of them in here now. So periodically they're going to come up and make it more difficult to hit the guy. Okay. So that was Miller's turn. Naomi's already gone. Julie's knocked down. So monster turn. Okay. We've got Mood, Delighted, which means Mocking Bite is going to be the next, because we only have, yeah. So here we go. The monster, yeah, can barely contain, has -1 accuracy, which is good, but +2 speed because we've got 2 terrified survivors, which is real bad. All right. That does mean its health is currently at 2 because it only has that 1 AI card while Mood is out. Okay. And now we have to draw this. Closest threat facing in range, which would be Miller. Miller does have survival, so that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn to face Miller. 2 speed +2 is 4 speed, 3+ accuracy, but it's got -1, so 4+ accuracy. We've got 2 misses, we've got 2 hits. All right. Hits me in the waist and the waist, which is best case scenario because there is armor there, so I don't even have to use survival. So 1 waist armor is gone, so I'm down to 0 waist armor, and then I take a light wound. But here's the bad part. The monster chortles with you in its mouth, gain terrified survivor status card, which he already has. If you already have it, you are knocked down. So Miller is not going to get to do anything this turn, including getting rid of terrified. But Julie stands up. So I think we're going to wait to see if Naomi can let's see what Naomi does, and we'll decide whether or not Julie's going to attack or get rid of Terrified. So Naomi goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's going to attack Fist and Tooth. -1 evasion. So we're looking at 7 plus. 2 hits. Fleshy Armpit. Pale Underflesh. This has a failure reaction. This does not. So we're going to do the Pale Underflesh first. All right. And it is... So she needs a 6. She needs a 6. 2. Damn it. All right. So there are those. And now, again, we need a 6. A 9. Got it. Okay. So that's a wound. So the monster is down to 1 health. 1 more wound kills it. So the question becomes, Fleshy Armpit's gone. The question becomes, is it worth taking the risk with Julie? Or, because if Julie gets rid of Terrify, which she can because she has 3 insanity. No, let's try to finish him. Let's try to finish him. Right in the blind spot here. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's do it, though. So she needs a... Well, here, we know what his next attack will be. Because if she gets her terrified, she can't attack. And so then the monster's going to get to attack. It's going to do its basic action because it has no more AI cards. So it'll go after the terrified threat in range. Oh, yeah, we need to kill it because otherwise it's going to eat Miller, basically. Okay, so we have no choice here. All right. She's in the blind spot. Needs a 6 or better. Oh, no. Okay, well, Miller's dead. All right, here we go. So the monster is going to terrified threat in range. Oh, wait. We could have it kill Julie instead. We could have it come after Julie because Miller has a founding stone, so he can definitely kill this thing next turn. Oh, I forgot. Every time Miller took damage, he was supposed to be checking this off. He take damage at least twice. So we'll do it twice. So he's almost going to level fear up, but not quite. I think we're going to have it attack Julie because it just says terrified threat in range. It doesn't say it has to be in view. She's terrified. They're the same distance away. And Miller has the founding stone. So it's going to attack Julie. Besides, then Miller will be very motivated to kill it if it kills Julie. All right. So what are we doing here? We've got 4 speed because of Delighted. 3 plus accuracy, basically 4 plus accuracy. 2 misses, 2 hits. All right. So then it really doesn't matter because after damage, if you are terrified, you're devoured whole. Technically speaking, he bites her in the waist and legs, but then he devours her whole. Julie is dead. Julie will be fondly remembered. And that means Delighted then goes back into the discard pile. That sucks. Okay, well, but we have so she's not terrified anymore. Oh, I forgot Miller, by the way. His death count went up. So and he gained 1 survival, but he's at max survival, so that doesn't matter. Okay. But now Mood's gone, so the extra speed and the -1 accuracy are gone as well. And he's still at, now he's back at 2 health because Mood is back in the AI deck pot. The AI deck. All right. So now Miller stands up. I think we're going to let yeah. Okay. So Miller is actually going to throw the founding stone. See, but then he's going to stay terrified. So we need to see what Naomi does first. But here's the problem. Naomi can't get to the blind spot, which would be the best bet. 1, 2, 3, because you can't move through him. Okay, so I think we're gonna do this. We're gonna let Naomi take her shot at him. Miller's gonna get rid of Terrified because with the basic action coming, we can't be terrified. So he's getting rid of Terrified. That's his action. And he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That lines him up for a death roll. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll just go right there. Because he can throw, actually, 4, 5. He can throw the founding stone from anywhere, but we might need him to actually attack. Well, so right there. We'll go right there. Okay. Julie, Naomi. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeps her as close to the blood pool as possible while still being in the blind spot. We need 6 plus. It's 1. So 1. All right. Got the blushing, bulging neck. So we're going to need a 6 or better. Come on. Come on. God damn it. Failure. The monster flips upside down, glides on wriggling fingers, moving 2 spaces forward. 1, 2. And wait, Julie's dead. Let's get rid of her paper here. And then does 2 brain damage to her. So she's at 0. Oh, no, she's terrified. Oh, no, she's terrified. Okay. Oh, this is real bad, y'all. Miller probably should have thrown that founding stone or at least attacked with it. Okay, so that was the survivor's turns. And so now the monster brings Delighted back out. So it's technically at 1 health now, but it's probably going to kill Naomi right now. Because it draws an AI card, which is the basic action, which means it's going to target the terrified survivor. Just like that. And it's rolling 3 speed. It has -1 accuracy, but 3 speed. It's 4 plus. They all hit. So she's dead. Boom. Well, we got a TPK here, y'all, in the prologue. All right, so it's now Miller's turn. The monster's back at 2 health because Delighted goes back into. Oh no! I forgot the last time. The monster should have been knocked down. Oh, I just hamstrung myself. Monster gets knocked down whenever Delighted goes away because he's so excited. So Miller's going to come in here and attack. Just one wound would be good because that would get rid of delighted forever. All right, so here we go. So he's attacking. He's 3+. I can't believe I forgot that the last time. They both hit. Please don't be a trap. Got the Sparkling Claw and the Blushing Body. No compulsory stuff. Let's do Sparkling Claw first because you get +3 strength to wound this location. So he's attacking with the Founding Stone. So 5 and then +3 strength. Basically anything but a 1 will wound. Huh, got a 2. Jesus. All right, so that's a wound. So Delighted is gone now. So all he's got left is the basic action. But if we wound this spot, he's dead. All right. So again, we need a 5 or better. Oh, it's a crit. And of course, this is one of the few Crimson Crocodile cards that doesn't have a critical wound. But the point is, he's dead. Crimson Crocodile died. We have won. Holy crap. I can't believe we came so close to a TPK there. Okay, so let me be right back, and then we will do all the aftermath stuff and start creating our first settlement. Okay, let's drink some coffee to get over what just happened. Okay, so, now one thing I didn't think about because it was the middle of the fight, we lost 3 people, right? So right away, let's pull this out and we'll just look at the Naomi's dead too. We lost 3 people. So we need to do, that's a milestone for us. The first time the death count is updated, principle of death. I guess technically it says first time the death count is updated, which it's pretty soon, but not right away. So you know what? We'll do it here when we get there. So for now, though, let's look at the prologue here. Prologue Crimson Crocodile. All right, so Aftermath, +1 hunt XP for Miller. Good job, Miller, surviving that horrific experience. So he's at 1 hunt XP. And then rewards, 4 basic rewards. So we get Monster Hide, Monster Organ, Monster Hide, and Monster Hide. And 4 Crimson Crocodile resources. We've got the Crimson Bone, the twisted bone of a twisted monster. The pseudo penis, and it's an organ. It's consumable. If you consume this, archive this to gain +3 survival and the Invigorator fighting art. That's interesting. Probably need to see what that is. The veined glass. This is bone. Tiny veins throb to an invisible pulse. And crimson fin. This is hide and an organ. Bloodless, yet always wet. That's gross. All right. So we got those. And we gained the Crimson Crockery settlement location. What? Where did I put the Crimson Crockery? Seeing everything except that. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. So this is where we can turn. So for instance, let's see. The Crimson Bone +1 high can give us the Crimson Helm. Pale Flesh. We don't have that. Let's see. Crimson Fin. We can turn that into body armor, or called the Crimson Dress. The Veined Glass. We can turn into dagger. So this is where you can turn Crimson Crocodile specific stuff into weaponry. All right. So now let's see. All right. So now we're going to move on to our first settlement event. Let's put these somewhere. We've got, put our organs. Hide, that is both hide and organ. And our bones. Okay. Okay, so first thing we need to do is the first Crimson Day settlement event. So I'm going to grab that. All right, so we've got first Crimson Day here. The survivors trust their kill, putting their backs to the bloodbath. They set off, grimly dragging the squelching Hulk into the darkness. Drawn by a soft glow, they approach a distant form. On a deep instinctual level, they know this place is safe, and they make it their home. Roll a d10 to determine my starting population. Rolled an 8. So 7 plus. We have 10 unnamed survivors plus returning survivors. And archive the cloth starting gear. Gain 4 bloody cloth starting gear. All right, so hold on. First off, where do we keep track of our survivors on here? There we go. All right, so all we've got is Miller. Male, he's got 1 hunt XP currently. And his philosophy is fear. Oh, did he take 1 more damage there at the end? No, he didn't. Okay. His philosophy is fear. Rank 1. Okay. Okay, so we gained the bloody cloth starting here. We archive our regular cloth. All right, so the bloody cloth is when you depart, gain +1 insanity. You may use this as armor for any hit location as well. It gives you 1 armor though. The first Crimson Day settlement event will not be used again during this campaign. Do not include it in your settlement event deck. Got it. All right, so I can go over there for now. All right. So now, survivors return. So Miller heals up completely, so we can get rid of all of his damage here. Gain endeavors. We get 1 endeavor because Miller survived. You get 1 endeavor per survivor that returns. So we have 1 endeavor there. And let's actually make some room here. Get him off the table for now. Okay. All right. So update the timeline. So first we draw a random settlement event card. All right, so we've got Shapes in the Darkness. Nominate 2 survivors to take turns staring into the darkness as it breathes around them. They describe what they see to each other in whispers, letting their paranoia guide their imaginations. The pair begins to see shapes in the dark. All right, so hold on. So we have, what did I say, 10 survivors, right, is what we got because of the roll? Yep. So we'll make it 5 male and 5 female. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's name one of the new ones Amos and one Roberto. All right, and so Amos and Roberto are going to be the 2 that are actually doing this. So see shapes in the dark. We need to roll a d10. Got a 6. The pair hears whimpers in the darkness that compel them to follow the sound to a stone face. Underneath, they find a cockroach mimicking their speech. Gain 1 hissing cockroach vermin resource. So hissing cockroach is vermin and it's consumable. If you consume it, archive this to lose all survival but gain 2d10 insanity. If you're insane, you must consume this. All right. Well, so that actually could be incredibly useful going up against Crimson Crocodile. So now where are we at? That was everything for that. Okay. So now we have to trigger the story and settlement events on the timeline this year. So the first one is called, we did First Crimson Day, obviously, Dreamless Respite. Or Dreamless Respite. Okay. Nominate a survivor to gesture over the roar of snores. So who do we nominate? You know what? We're still missing. We need at least one more named survivor. We got 2 males named. We need one more. We need a female name. So let's go with Chrisjen. Crisjen. And so she will gesture over the roar of snores. The survivors approach a mass of dreaming bodies held aloft by a motionless giant. The snoring forms a dense roar that drowns all other sound. The nominated survivor's voice is swallowed by the din. The settlement gains dreamless language innovation. So dreamless language. Our survival limit is +1. So now that puts our survival limit at 2, because that was what was keeping it where somebody could only have 1 survival. So we have 2 survival limit now. All right, survival limit +1. All survivors gain the encouraged survival action, which lets us encourage our survivors to stand up if they're knocked down. A different survivor can spend survival to have them stand up. And then we add the language consequences to the innovation deck. And I'll handle that here in a minute. Let's finish this up here, though. So that's our first innovation. But they find it ineffective for communicating around the sphere of snores. So dreamless language is not enough to communicate around the snores. They learn to communicate without sound. The settlement gains the silent dialect innovation, and the nominated survivor gains +2 understanding. So let's see. You know what? Let's take one of these dead people here. And it's not marked up enough to where I can't salvage it. So we're going to use this for Chrisjen. Okay, perfect. And she gains +2 understanding. There we go. And it said silent dialect. Silent dialect. The settlement develops a silent form of communication to cope with the ever-present den of snoring dreamers. All survivors gain the fist pump survival action. Fist pump. Once per round, if standing, spend 1 survival to gesture to a non-blind survivor. They stand if knocked down. Whereas, by the way, encourage has to be done. You can only encourage a non-deaf survivor. All right, so moving on. Search the innovation cards for the Dreamless language. Got that. And silent dialect. Place them in play and record this on your ARC settlement record sheet. So innovations. Okay. Dreamless language is the innovation that sparks the creation of the innovation deck. So now we build the innovation deck. The innovation deck represents the potential cultural and technological growth of your settlement. It will grow throughout the campaign as you gain new innovation cards. Find ammonia, drums, hovel, inner lantern, paint, and symposium to create the deck. Shuffle these 6 cards to form the settlement's innovation deck. Place it face down in the designated space on the settlement board. The innovation deck is persistent. Make sure to preserve the unique combination of cards in your deck between play sessions. The settlement gathers around the giant guardian. By the way, I built that settlement deck earlier just because it's the standard starting deck. All right, so the giant guardian. All right. Exhausted, the nominated survivor nestles in the overflowing robes of the encumbered creature. It remains still, enthusiastically motioning for the others to join. The survivor names their settlement's guardian the Dreamkeeper. Search the settlement location cards for the Keeper of Dreams and place it face up in your play area. Keeper of Dreams. Here we go. So here's the Keeper of Dreams. This lets us innovate. We can build the Bonesmith, the Organ Grinder, the Skinnery. We also have this. If we have ammonia, we can groom the Dream Keeper once per lantern year. Nominate a survivor. They trim the Dream Keeper's toenails and wring the snoring dreamer's drool from its robes. Roll 1d10 on a 1, suffer -1 luck. Otherwise, gain +1 Lumi. And Lumi is something new for the Gambler's Chest expansion. And just so I can tell you specifically what that is, how it works. An arc is an attribute of the arc survivors, which are the survivors we're using. Lumi can be spent to acquire knowledge at the forum settlement location, which we don't have yet, and to perform various feats. Lumi does not automatically replenish. When an effect instructs you to spend Lumi, reduce the Lumi value on your arc survivor record sheet by the designated amount. Okay. So The Keeper of the Dreams is the source of all innovations and further locations the settlement will develop. Huddled in the Dreamkeeper's robes, the sudden horror of existence is replaced by a spreading sense of calm. Under the droning thrum of snores and sighs, they drift off into dreamless sleep, remove any disorders. The nominated survivor gains the grounded ability. So grounded. Grounded. At any time, you may set your insanity to 0, 1, or 2 once per lantern year. All right. All right, so that was Dreamless Respite. Next up, we've got First Meal. All right, first meal. Raise nominate a survivor to raise a drink. Okay, so you know what? We are definitely going to have Amos raise a drink. Probably need to make him a sheet here in a second. The settlement gathers for their first meal. The nominated survivor raises their hands to mark the settlement's unity. With a sanguine sip, communal consumption. The nominated survivor raises their hand to mark the settlement's unity with a sanguine sip. Communal consumption benefits the ARC survivors' collective cognition. Build the collective cognition rewards deck. I've got that built already. Ordering the numbered cards with the lowest value on top. If duplicate numbers appear, use only one of each value. Include only the collective cognition monster reward cards for monsters in your campaign. Collective cognition flourishes based on the variety and challenge of defeated monsters. When a monster is defeated, update the settlement victories section on the ARC Survivor record sheet to determine changes to the collective cognition. The survivors digest their feast, gain one collective cognition, record this on the ARC settlement record sheet. Collective cognition imparts its first reward. Okay, so hold on. Let's grab this. And collective cognition. Okay, so quarry. So the Crimson Croc. We killed the Prologue, so that gives us one collective cognition, which means we have facets of power has been unlocked. All right, so you can see here, there's a 1. We have one collective cognition. Facets. It says facets of power. It says facets of existence. I'm guessing that's just a typo there. Attain tier 1 philosophies. When you attain philosophies, they become available in your campaign. Return to the first meal to build the starting philosophy deck. All right. Record this on the ARC settlement record sheet. Collective cognition imparts its first reward. Gain the collective cognition reward card marked with 1 on the back. The nominated survivors begin discourse. The survivors examine the facets of existence through many lenses. Spirited debate erupts in the settlement as the survivors compare their viewpoints. Build the philosophy deck. Take 2 random tier 1 philosophy cards and the core philosophy card, Dreamism, and set aside the starting philosophy card, Survivalism. Oh, wait, I already built this. Okay, yeah, I already built this. If there is no core philosophy for your campaign, don't worry about that. The survivors share frantic reenactments of their tactics. Build the starting knowledge deck, which is Darkness 1, Despair 1, Fear 1, Hunger 1. Already have that built. If any of these advanced to a higher level during the Prologue showdown, replace that card with a higher level achieved. Shuffle these cards and place the knowledge deck in play. The nominated survivor gains a random knowledge from the deck. Okay, so this is Amos. Oh, and I have it here. Yeah, here we go. All right, because nothing upgraded. Okay. So Amos will have Despair. All right. So we do need to this is Amos. And this works out because this is actually the one that already had Despair. Julie had Despair before. There we go. Let's just clear off the rest of this, though. Amos gets 1 survival for being named. And Courage and Fist Pump are both good. No Insanity to start off with. Okay. All right. They focus and ponder the darkness. With the sudden acceleration of culture Amos sees the path unfolding before him. Surviving the darkness is paramount. They gain Hunt XP up to their first milestone. So it goes ahead and goes to 2 Hunt XP. They adopt a philosophy by drawing the top card from the philosophy deck, which will be survivalism, because we were told to put that on the top. All right, so here's the philosophy deck. Top card is survivalism, since we seeded it that way. You adopt survivalism, okay? The nominated survivor adopts survivalism, which would go here. Open the survivalism philosophy book and follow the directions on the starting page. All right, so every philosophy has its own little book here. The philosophy book describes one perspective survivors might adopt to make sense of the world. When a survivor adopts a philosophy, gain the tenet, knowledge, and neurosis of this philosophy. So the neurosis is selfish. And the tenet is tenacity. All right. Create the rank milestones by bolding the corresponding Hunt XP boxes on the Arc Survivor record sheet. Okay, so you see here, so 2 and then 4. And then 3 more, 1, 2. Yeah, right here. And then 3 more, 1, 2, 3. And then the last one, of course. Okay. Advance to the first rank of the philosophy. So rank is 1. Survival. Okay, wait. So philosophy name is survival. Neurosis and tenet, the defining values of this philosophy. Draw the tenet knowledge card and record its rules on the Arc Survivor sheet. Add the tenet knowledge card to the settlement's knowledge deck if it is not already there, and record it on the settlement record. So let's find tenacity. All right, so we've got tenacity. When you depart, gain a survival token. You may spend a survival token at any time to gain +1 survival. So all right, so got that marked down. Observation, we got to observe twice. In order to level up tenacity, when you spend a survival token, gain +1 observation. All right. Okay. All right. And then this goes in the knowledge deck. This represents, let's see, what are we looking at now? The hunt. Okay, this represents the path a survivor's worldview follows. It shows hunt XP milestones when the survivor must ponder, increasing the philosophy's rank. Okay, increasing the philosophy's rank, not the knowledge rank, because the knowledge rank is increased with this. Philosophy rank is increased by my hunt XP. The neurosis is a compulsive behavior of this philosophy. Record its rules on the Arc Survivor record sheet. So selfish. When you encourage another survivor, roll 1d10 on a 6+. You do not encourage, but you keep your survival, and you can't encourage again this round. Okay. And if it's possible for your survivor to use meat shield to avoid harm, they must use it. Proceed to rank 1. If you reach 12 hunt XP and have never departed the settlement, you make a life-changing leap of logic. Proceed to divergent rank of this book. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So divergent, but you have to reach 12 hunt XP without leaving. That's interesting. So I don't even know how to do that yet. We don't have any ability to do that at the moment. So let's see. Survivalism rank 1. You are alone. All that matters is your survival. Adapt to survive. Gain +1 looming. And roll a d10. Got a 2. You fixate on one lantern, flinging stones at it until you can knock it down. When the time comes, you will get only one shot, so you must make it count. Gain accuracy. Oh, I get a new knowledge. Accuracy training. Accuracy training. Theory. So this doesn't actually do anything yet, because a theory is an inkling of an idea that currently has no effect. With enough observation, the theory may advance into something useful. All right, so accuracy training. We've got to make an observation 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. No rules yet. When you successfully hit the monster, gain 1 observation. That's once per attack. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, let me double check, that when knowledge is gained, it goes into the knowledge deck. Once anybody has it, it goes in the knowledge deck. Where was that? I'll confirm that later. I'll set it off to the side over here, and I'll confirm it later. So we're in the last 30 minutes here. Give me one moment. All right, so wait, where'd the book go? Y'all, I know it was right here. What did I do with the book? Oh, right here. Okay. So accuracy training. Collective connection 11 introspection. What is the point of? All right, so I guess I need to mark down for collective cognition. We'll mark there to check down here. Survivalism. Okay. All right, but I think that's everything on this for now. So open the survivalism philosophy book, follow directions on the starting page. Use an ARC survival record sheet to record their hunt XP milestones, neurosis, and tenacity, a tenant knowledge they cannot lose or exchange. After recording, shuffle tenacity into the knowledge deck. The nominated survivor reaches the first rank of survivalism as their perception of the darkness is clarified. Which again is just from suffering a brain trauma. Turn to, let's see. Oh no, the nominated survivor reaches the first rank of survivalism. So that's after 2 more hunt XP. Well, I guess the first rank is after the first 2 hunt XP. The next rank will be 2 more. Turn to rank 1 and read it aloud and resolve the rules. During future settlement phases, survivors who reach new hunt XP milestones will adopt philosophies and advance others during the develop step. So that was first meal. So then extinguished guidepost. Okay. And I think this is the final settlement event. All right. Or story event. And just outside the settlement, they gather to form a deadly pact. A death pact is formed. They will return with a kill or not at all. Gain the death pact innovation and the outskirts settlement location. So let's see. First off, outskirts right here. So extinguish guidepost. When a survivor dies, their gear does not return to the settlement storage. Scout. You may nominate a survivor to be the scout and join the hunting survivors when they depart. The scout is equipped with the dreaded pack and must use the scout gear card. The scout is still a survivor and gains departing bonuses alongside the hunting survivors. Only a scout can use gear with the scout keyword. And you got this scout specific gear here. Hollow stone gathering. Once per settlement phase, the survivor may carefully search the outskirts, gain a hollow stone strange resource. All right, and then what do we need? We needed the death pact innovation. Okay, so death pact, scout law. When the survivors perish on the hunt or are defeated in the showdown, go to logistics of death. And we can special innovate pictograph here for 1 hide and 1 organ. Replace a random basic hunt event with the scout basic hunt event card. So the Scout basic hunt event makes it so it's possible that something specific to the Scout will happen when we're out hunting. I'm definitely the next time I do this stream for Kim Death, I'm going to have at least one additional table in here so that I've got stuff a little bit closer to me. Let's see here. An ill-omened stench spreads through the settlement. Following the smell, the survivors reach an extinguished guidepost. The foul wind moans through its darkened lamp. On the ground, the survivors find a waxy gray object. Its eye-watering smell prevents them from seeing it clearly. Gaggling and weeping, they roll it in layers of cloth until its smell is merely repulsive. The survivors contrive a use for the dreaded pack. Nominate a survivor to accompany the hunting survivors. The dreaded burden is lifted onto their shoulders. They are the Scout this lantern year. They feel a grim responsibility. So we need to name one more survivor. We'll go Alex. What was Amos has survival? Oh, I have fear here. That's not right. That's not a philosophy. That's a knowledge. But Amos has survivalism, though. And so Alex is the nominated survivor for this. So roll a grim responsibility. Gain the Scout gear grid. Scouts must use it instead of a normal grid. Then roll 1d10, a 4. The survivors affixing the bundle for travel are overcome by its raw stench. For just a moment, the bundle slips, revealing its foul contents to the Scout. Their tears sizzle in their eyes, and their hair withers and falls to the ground. They exhale a final sigh of relief before losing consciousness. The Scout suffers -1 accuracy and evasion. Holy crap. We need a new sheet. Well, we'll use this one. Okay, so -1 accuracy. It doesn't say token, so it's permanent, and -1 evasion. So this Scout is not fighting. Poor Alex. All right. Let's see. So that's it. Okay. So we're done with the events. There's a lot of events whenever you start a brand new Gambler's Chest campaign. Okay. So now what we need to do is figure out. So in terms of weapons, we still have 2 founding stones. We have 2 founding stones still. So if we could build 2 weapons, that will make sure that no one is going with just their fist and tooth. So, but the first thing we want to do is we want to innovate, because innovating is the most important thing you can do, in my opinion. So let's see. Let's get our innovation deck. All right, so we've got our 6 cards in here. We're going to innovate, so we have to spend our endeavor to do that. And 1 bone, which either veined glass or Crimson Bone. Crimson Bone is armor. Vein Glass by itself gives us a weapon. So we'll spend Crimson Bone, I think. All right, so spent that. Organ will just be our generic monster organ up here. And 1 hide. All right, so that innovates. So once per settlement phase, you may spend the listed resources to draw 2 innovation cards. Keep 1, return the other to the deck. We've got Paint and Hovel. Ooh, man. Okay, so very tempted to take Hovel, but getting our survival actions is so important. So in this case, Dash. If we take Paint, we're definitely going to take that. Hovel's going back in the innovation deck for now. So that's something we will hopefully get later. Paint gives us the settlement swells with creative energy. All survivors gain Dash. And so for Dash, once per round, spend 1 survival to gain +1 movement and use it immediately. So basically, if the Crimson Crocodile is going to death roll to left or right, or is going to move forward, we can spend a survival to move out of the way. Is essentially how that's going to work. Now, I have this app that I use to make sure when I'm building the innovation deck that I don't forget anything. It has so much more in it than just that. If you dislike dealing with the paperwork of Kingdom Death, I strongly recommend grabbing this app. It's called Scribe for KDM. There's also a Scribe app for Aeon Trespass Odyssey. So we got Dreamless Language. You can see that I selected Dreamless Language, and then it built my innovation decks. Then I can make sure I have all the right stuff in here. So now I got Paint. I'm going to add that. And so now it's got 8 cards in the deck, right? Because you can see that when you gain Paint, you need to add the Paint consequences to the innovation deck. So it's telling me I need to have 8 in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that I've got to find 3 innovation or 3 consequences of Paint to put in here. So let's go grab the deck. As you can see, there's a lot of cards here that you could potentially have to put in there. So it definitely makes it worthwhile to have this. So, didn't mean to. Okay. So drums should already be in there. Face painting is one. So face painting, this one gives you battle paint. If you roll a d10, you could end up gaining +2 survival and +1 insanity for all departing survivors. Or if you went with Founder's Eye, you could end up gain +1 to all rolls on the intimacy story event this settlement phase. So face painting, pictograph. The first time a level 3 quarry monster is defeated by survivors accompanied by a scout, gain the scout discovery for that monster. Okay. And sculpture. All right, so sculpture. Yeah. You spin an endeavor. You bare your soul to create an inspirational statue. Skip the next hunt and lose a knowledge. It will be embodied in the statue. Note this on the settlement record sheet. A settlement can only ever have 1 inspirational statue. Always share this knowledge in addition to others at the forum. Oh, okay, so basically creates a knowledge that will always be available at the forum. Add sculpture consequences. Okay. All right, so those 3 are in there. Now I just realized, I think I might be jumping ahead. We forgot to update the death count. Yeah, so we got to do that. We got to do that real quick. But now we have the innovation deck ready to go for the next time we innovate. So let's update the death count. We lost 3. We lost 3. It was very sad. And that means we have to do... You can see our milestones here. are population reaches 0, population reaches 15, first child is born, first time death count is updated, or first survivor reaches 3 understanding. All right, so principal death. And this one is pretty gory. I'm going to keep this picture off the screen here. But the group must decide what to do with their first survivor corpse, or in our case, our first 3 survivor corpses. We can either harvest them. Basically, we decide to create the death principle of cannibalize or the death principle of graves. If we go with cannibalize, I guess we should look and see. Let me show you what the differences are here. Actually, I could just tell you. Cannibalize gives us +1. Let's look at it. I say I can remember, but I always forget little important details. So let's just look at these. So we get, see, survival limit +1. Whenever a survivor dies, draw 1 basic resource and add it to the settlement storage, unless they are lost, cease to exist, or are exiled. Graves, on the other hand, all new survivors gain +1 understanding. When a survivor dies during the hunt or showdown phase, gain +2 endeavors. When a survivor dies during the settlement phase, gain +1 endeavor. So this adding the survival limit would be really good, but also starting with +1 understanding and getting the extra endeavors could be good. I'm gonna go cannibalize this time. All right, so now our survival limit is 3. And let's finish reading this. So the first harvest. The settlement decides to harvest the body for resources. The settlement gains the death principle cannibalize, which we just did. Find and place the card on the settlement board and note it on the settlement record sheet. Make sure I notated that. Oh, wait. We've got Keeper Dreams. We've got the Outskirts. And we've got the Crimson Crockery. All right. So death, cannibalize. Okay. After adding the card to the summit, roll a d10. Ooh, we got a 10. We got a 10. Nominate a survivor. The survivor. Wait, okay. Nominate a survivor. You know what? We're gonna nominate Miller because Miller was the actual survivor of that damn near TPK we just experienced. So we're nominating Miller. The survivor fanatically tears the corpse open and deeply drinks its blood. They decide that for every new creature they eat, they will become stronger. The survivor gains +1 permanent speed. All right, so Miller will always roll an extra die whenever he's attacking. And now also, I always play that, you know, once you take cannibalize, you immediately get the resources and for that survivor. So we had 3 dead, so let's get 3 extra resources here. Oh, we got the perfect organ. If you consume this, archive this card, roll 1d10 on a result of 6+, you contract a Millennium Parasite and gain +10 Hunt XP. Got a regular monster organ and the skull. When you gain this, a survivor of your choice gains +1 insanity. Let's give it to one of the survivors that doesn't have any yet. Let's go with Christian. Gains +1 insanity. Okay. So death count updated. Check milestones. Got that done. So now is when we develop. Okay. So this is technically when we should have done the innovating before. So let me grab. So we can't build any of these because we don't have any more endeavors. We can't do this. Essentially, all we can do is build gear here. I don't know that we focus on the scout at all yet. Yeah. So let me grab the Crimson Crockery gear. Got about 10 more minutes. Hey, Subi, welcome in, Subi. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning. Hope you were doing fantastic today. We're doing something a little different today, doing actual tabletop experience with Kingdom Death Monster starting a brand new campaign. Let's see. So I think the Bloodglass Dagger, almost for sure we want to do that. Weapon, melee, dagger, bone. Honed 3. This has +3 strength until its edge is ruined after wounding a parry or super dense hit location. Yes, we will definitely take that. And then we need to find, and that takes the veined glass is what we had to use for that. And we can turn that off. All right, so now let's see. We at least one more weapon. We don't necessarily need to give our scout a weapon because I don't intend on the scout necessarily getting involved in the fight if we can help it. Crimson. So the only bone we have left is the skull. So we don't have a fancy bone at all. Okay. Groom nails. We don't have the groom nails, so we can't do that. Nope. We don't have that. No. No. Okay, so we actually cannot create. No disguise kit. Yeah, so we can't actually create any more weapons. So one of our people is going to go into the fight with just fist and tooth. But let's see in terms of armor what we can do. Let's see, we have monster hide, pale flesh, no. We have the crimson fin and hide. So we can create the crimson dress. This gives 2 armor, immortal spin. Spend movement and your activation to move 3 spaces forward. Then, if you move 3 spaces, activate a melee weapon with +1 strength for each bleeding token you have. That's pretty cool. That's going to take the Crimson Fin and a hide. Okay. So that's really all we can do. Now, let's look at the scout stuff. Is there anything over here we can do? One bone, one. We don't have a hollow stone. Hollow stone. 3 working. We don't have that. Don't have that. One hide and one perfect organ can give us the blood pack. What does that do? So yeah, we pretty much are done. We're gonna have a lot left over here. The issue was that our endeavor, we have to have an endeavor to build the bonesmith, the organ grinder, the skinnery, and those could have used these basic resources a lot better. but we'll be able to save them and we'll bring them back next time. And I think it's going to be worth it to be able to dash, which is what paint gave us. Let's see. So we bought the crimson dress. We bought the blood glass dagger. I need to get the scout stuff. All right, so the only thing here is the blood pack. So this, during the aftermath, if another survivor died from bleeding tokens, archive this and roll 1d10. During the aftermath, if another survivor died from bleeding tokens, archive this and roll 1d10. On a 7+, they live. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, we'll definitely build that. We need hide and the perfect organ right there. Okay. Okay, so that's all we can do for develop. Next, we need to prepare our departing survivors. So Alex, let's see. So Alex is the scout. And yeah, he's going to be walking out with just the blood pack. So he's not going to have any armor at all. And so we're good there. Christian has the bloody cloth, and we'll give her the crimson dress as well. What color? She's red. So the bloody cloth says that it can go apply to any area, right? So we'll say the bloody cloth is for her head, and then the crimson dress goes on the body for 2 armor. Miller has a founding stone and the bloody cloth. So he's got 1 waist armor. Amos has the bloody cloth. So, wait. No. We're going to use the bloody cloth for head armor, though, because head is way more fragile than any other body part. And so, again, head here for Amos. So we need 1 more person because Alex is the scout. So we need 1 more person to go out. Oh, that's right, Roberta. And you know what? Roberta's going by Bobby for short. Okay. And let me grab a sheet for her. All right, we've got Bobby. One survival. All of them have 1 survival, right? Alex has 1 survival. Okay. And she's got the bloody cloth on her head. And we will give, I think, will Bobby be the one that goes? Let's see. Yeah, Bobby will be the one that goes without any weapons because I'm going to give Christian the blood glass dagger. Okay, so prepare departing survivors, no special showdown, record and archive resources. Where's our resource? Gear storage, resource storage. Here we go. So basic and strange, we got a skull. Oh, you know what? We should give somebody, because we're going to fight the Crimson Crocodile again, archive cockroach. Bobby has 0. Amos has 0. Miller has 2. Christian has 1. Alex has 1. But I really want to keep Christian around because she's got. No, wait. Who has the. No, we want to keep Amos around. What was the deal with Christian? Christian just. Okay, so I'm going to change this up. I'm actually going to end up giving Amos is who I'm going to load up. I'm going to give Amos the crimson dress. So Christian doesn't have that. I'm going to give Amos the crimson dress because he's the one that has all of this stuff going on. So we want to keep him around. He'll get the dagger as well. And then the hissing cockroach. That's right. So 2d10. Let me see. What was it? 2d10 insanity. So we got 9 insanity. That'll be huge against the croc. So that's gone. We've got monster organ. And a pseudo penis. Okay. Okay, and so now we would start out with the hunt, though we are definitely at the ending point right now. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, so definitely where I got to stop here. Really appreciate everybody coming in. This was fantastic. Had a great time. Tomorrow I'll be doing Starfield, and then I'm going to be gone until the following Friday. And then the next week I'll be back into my normal routine. And we'll probably try to get another one of these videos out that following week. Yeah, since I'm taking a week off, that next week we'll get another one.